Did you have a happy marriage?
Happy marriage? I would say that it was successful. After all, I have 2 sons that I love and 5 grandchildren that I adore. And I was permitted to pursue my career. I was married for 30 years. That's a long time nowadays. I would say that's a very successful marriage.
But did you love grandfather?
Love? I have never been in love in my life. And that's what makes me a good actress. You see, when one falls in love, one becomes so absorbed in one's own emotion that one can't view others objectively, which is essential for acting. Thank God I was never in love. Thank God.
But grandmother, there are actors that fall in and out of love every other week, and they win Academy Awards.
No, that's their problem. I don't recommend it.
Well then, how did you end up marrying grandfather?
After I graduated from the University of Dresden, I didn't want to go back under my parents' roof. I wanted my independence. And so I go to my daddy and I said, Daddy, I would like to be a Hausfrau. And he goes to his rowing club and he introduces me to several members. And I get handwriting samples from each one. And I bring them to an analyst. And the analyst says to me, you are strong-willed. And that man about your grandfather, with him you will get what you want. And she was right. After we were married, I said to him, Eric, I would like to be an actress. So he goes to his mama and he says, Mama, what do I do? Lily wants to be an actress. And his mama says, if she's any good, you can't stop her. And if she's no good, she'll come back to you. And so it was. I started out in leading parts in Max Reinhardt's theater, which the other actors still haven't forgiven me.
Well, did you at least grow fond of grandfather?
I liked your grandfather. He loved to dance. I loved to dance. We were marvelous on the social scene. And when Hitler invaded Austria, families were committing suicide in droves. I wanted to commit suicide as a family. Your daddy was only 3 years old. And I pleaded with your grandfather to let us hang ourselves in the basement, but he wouldn't hear of it. He was too light-hearted. Thank God, because what if we had? All of the good in our lives would have been willfully blotted out. Yes, I liked your grandfather. After our first child was born, your Uncle Peter, it was a very difficult birth, painfully difficult. I almost died. And your grandfather comes waltzing into the hospital with a rose bush. Oh, Lilia, look what I brought you. We can plant it in the garden. It won't die like cut flowers. And I looked at that bush, and I think, after what I go through, he thinks a bush is adequate repayment. You see, he can't understand that kind of pain. I, an actress who experiences every range of emotion while he is oblivious and paves over everything. I don't want he should touch me after that. I don't want to die in childbirth. For him, everything is fun, fun, fun. For me, I could die. So he has other women after that. Maybe I haven't always done the right thing. Grandmother, then how did my dad come along? Oh, that's a lovely story. Of course, that is 11 years later, and I'm on tour in the countryside with a show, and I want so much to have another child. And I see a chapel on the hill, and I go inside, and I pray that I get another child, and then I get your daddy. Oh yeah. You mean by immaculate conception? No, it's your grandfather who comes on a surprise visit with a rose, again with a rose, only this time I'm friendlier. Darling, I have only slept with one man in my life, and that's how it should be. Don't marry because you are in love. Oh, it leads to tremendous disappointment. You see, one has all these ideals about the other person, that they're so perfect in every way. And then one wakes up one day and finds out they have faults like everybody else. Marry because the man has a similar background, good values, has a good education, makes a good living. Not for love, no. I would have to marry for love, grandmother. You have a lot to learn. A lot to learn.